people saw that you, Matt Walsh, maybe and others, for a while there was this beginning, Taylor Hanson, et cetera, this focus on exposing the degeneracy that was taking place with drag shows and children. I think I want to clarify that a lot of people, I think, pretend to care about it, but actually just share it because it enrages people and it's just good for clicks. But realistically, there are children getting targeted and being placed into adult-only venues around men that are swinging their dicks around, or at least they're not able to because they're tucked really tight, doing splits. You can see the browning in their butthole on the side. I mean, so many videos I've seen, I wish I could burn my eyes out. And you bring this up. Tell me why and where you started bringing and shedding light on this sort of cross, this blur between children and sexually themed adult entertainment, and how that made you a target of the woke left wing.
Yeah. So my account, basically the goal is to protect the innocence of children, right? That's more or less what all of my content focuses on. And actually, towards the beginning of when I started my account, so I would say over a year ago, I started seeing this drag stuff and something felt really off to me. I was like, this is adult entertainment. This does not belong. Children do not belong in front of this. And nobody was talking about it. And I was like, okay, let me try. And I remember about a year ago posting videos and nobody cared. Nobody picked it up. Nobody was talking about it. And I was just like, okay, I'm not really sure what's going on here. And then I came across, I kept coming across more and more of these videos and they started getting worse. So it wasn't just drag, it was strippers, and the actual performances were getting more and more extreme and sexual and inappropriate. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to start talking about this more. And if no one else wants to, that's fine. But I feel like this is wrong and it needs to be exposed and shared. So I started sharing a lot of it. And then people started realizing that this is actually a huge problem. So then I came across a paper written by a drag queen, and he basically outlined what the goal of drag is. And he writes in it that the goal of drag is to queer the family. So it's actually a form of activism. And the purpose of drag is to, I'm not going to quote it because I don't have it right in front of me, but you can pull it up. It was written by Little Miss Hot Mess. And he says, it's to expose kids and introduce them to gender fluidity. That is why drag was created. Literally, that's what he says in his own paper, peer-reviewed paper. So I'm like, this is really problematic. Drag is not for kids. If adults want to do it, I have no problem with that. It's adult entertainment. It's for children. And I started sharing more and more of it. And I think that, I would like to say that Libs of TikTok was really instrumental in getting people to realize how pervasive of a problem this is and why it's a problem. And I believe we saw in the last election, we saw on one of the ballots, I believe it was in Tennessee, where there was, people could vote on if it should be a felony for a drag queen to perform in front of minors. I know in Florida, there was a restaurant that lost their liquor license because they had a really inappropriate drag show for children. DeSantis' administration also threatened a few venues that if they host drag for children, they will face consequences. So I want to say that Libs of TikTok was instrumental in that. I believe it was. And it's so obviously inappropriate. And when the left calls me a terrorist for talking about drag and for posting publicly available advertisements and flyers and videos from drag shows for kids, it's not even worth addressing because they're so obviously just Like, they're looking for anything to call us out on, and all you have to do is just show the videos. Like, they're like, oh, well, why do you have a problem with drag? This is so beautiful. This is so great. So you just show a video of a very inappropriate drag show where the drag queen is barely wearing any clothing and is shaking all different kinds of body parts in front of children. And it's like, how could you defend this? That's all you have to do. You just show exactly what's happening, which is what I do. And the left cannot defend it. They just can't.
Yeah, I also find it to be crazy that this stuff is enraging, but I also know that you probably have experienced this. It's like, what else can we show besides like live links, maybe gore videos of the cartel blowing someone's head off that would shock people anymore? Like, it's like anything outside of like literal murder or actual rape or like direct molestation has literally been accepted in society. And I mean that thoroughly. Like, it's like, yeah, we have these horrific crimes, and you're not going to share videos of them, and I'm not going to share videos, and we hope, those people either get the death penalty or whatever, restrictions that the country is going to place on them. I think they all should die, actually. But it's almost like it's crazy that not only do we share these videos and say, hey, these are out there, and you've put these out, and you've said these people are trying to tap into the sexuality of children, which in and of itself is a perverted subject. But the weirdest part about this is like, this is as close as you can get to disgusting and depraved that you can share and to wake people up. And instead of them waking up, they've said, you're the problem. Like, you're the issue. You sharing the videos, not because of what's in them is the problem, but because of the hatred that the people receive, because of the criticisms that they get. And I want to transition into this. This is the new attack from the left. And if you're listening for the first time, pay attention, because what they're going to do, and they're going to continue to do, is if you use words to speak out against something, they used to use the old phrase that words were violence, and when you said stuff, it was violence, and that works on TikTok, and you can still get your account suspended for what you say. But the new thing is what is it called? What do they say?
Stochastic terrorism.
Stochastic terrorism. Yeah, I don't even know the new words they're inventing. Is that your words are actually endangering people because of the people that they inspire to commit acts or threats of violence. And I want to talk about the Boston Children's Hospital, as well as these schools that are teaching and sexualizing our children in the parent meetings. Let's start with the first attention that you brought to some of these things. Let's talk about some of these controversies. So tell me a little bit about how you branched out from TikToks, you branched out from like drag shows to then truly exposing severe and serious actions in reality, like hospitals and activists targeting children for surgical intervention of transgender ideology, and also school boards being blatantly open about indoctrinating children. Like, how do you make the jump from funny, haha, these people are crazy, to we're going to get into the nitty gritty and start really exposing the inner workings of these organizations?
Yeah, so I would say like a few months into the account, I was spending a lot of time on TikTok, and I was like, okay, this isn't just like funny and entertaining and interesting. Like, this is actually a mission, because these videos are dangerous, and my account kind of pivoted, and I also kept pivoting it based on what I saw going on and what I thought was important. And then my DMs started exploding from parents and concerned citizens across the country. And then I really started sharing a lot of non-TikToks too, probably a couple months into the account. At this point, it's like half and half. The content, half TikToks, half other stuff. But like I said, like I keep pivoting to what I believe needs to be talked about and what I think is important. And I started reading a lot and hearing a lot about the gender surgeries that they were doing on minors, young, healthy people. And I was like, we need to start talking about this. So I posted tons of content from various hospitals across the country that do surgery or sterilization, puberty suppression, all those things, who do those stuff on children. I think like a child can never consent to an elective operation like that. And I really believe that. And I will call it out every single time I see it.
Now, I'm really enjoying this interview with Chaya, and I got to tell you guys about something important. Don't just worry about the degeneration in our streets and with people, because there is one person in our lives that we know literally can do no wrong, even when they literally chew up the couch. And that's our best friend. That's our little dogs, or our big dogs. They are our friends, and they literally don't do anything but just give us love unconditionally, even when we want to be mad. But so many of us are hurting our dogs with the food that we give them. And it's just scary to really think about the fact that there is a product in almost all of their dog food that is causing gut digestion issues. And those gut digestion issues can be avoided if you could just recognize this and listen to what Dr. Marty has said to identify if it's in your dog's food. Now, this could be leaving your dog tired. It can end your dog's life early. And it's like, if you love your dog, if you know someone who does, you need to find out if this product, this mystery meat meal, is in your product, because it's in most food, even the healthy stuff, quote unquote, that's in the fridge and everything. Now, if you want to find out what Dr. Marty has proposed a plan to help your dog be healthy, and you want to find out what this product is, click the link in the description, which is dogfoodexposed.com/offensive. You've got to check it out. Dogfoodexposed.com/offensive, and find out what's really going on with your dog today. Guys, do not wait till your dog dies or you have expensive vet bills. This product is probably in your dog's food. Get the link, send it to people who have dogs, let them know immediately, and find out how to help your dog. Let's get back into the show.